Today is about knit fabrics that are going to be perfect for your upcoming projects headed towards cooler weather. Look at this one, lots of pretties to see, and I'll be pairing them with patterns as usual. Stay tuned. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today is about fabric. I love making these fabric videos every now and then. I don't come and sit down and share fabrics with you that I buy. I just save them and try to group them into fabric types so that I can make a video that's really useful for you to help you choose your fabrics, pair them to your patterns. I know a lot of people struggle with that, and I love to give you some inspiration and some ideas. Maybe you will have some of these fabrics already in your collection and you might feel inspired to try some of these tops that I'm going to mention. The patterns I'm going to mention, I'll repeat them more than once because all these fabrics can be used for so many projects. What they have in common is that they are designed for knit fabrics, so zero woven projects here. They all have a closed front, so I'm not mentioning cardigans or wrap tops or anything like that. I'm talking about knit tops have a closed front, but these do have details, they do have nice necklines, they do have special features there that make them a little bit more fun to sew and to look at, rather than just a simple top with a neckband or something like that. Although there are some of those as well in the ones I'll mention. So one of the types of fabrics that you might have in your collection or you might want to get is a rib knit. Now there are different types of rib knits. I'm talking about the ones that are appropriate for garment making. You will find some other types of rib knits that are specifically for collars and cuffs and bands and those types of things. They're usually made of 100% cotton, and the stretch that they have is a lot, but it's mechanical stretch. It's because of the way it's weaved. So I have an example of this black rib knit. You see that the ribs are very, very narrow, and it's basically almost 2 to 2. So it's very stretchy. I would not want to make a whole garment out of this. Usually they come in a tube, they're quite narrow, and if you made a t-shirt or something, it would be super stiff, it would be very uncomfortable. So this is not the type of rib knit material I'm talking about. I'm talking about something like this. Now you'll find them made out of different blends, polyester, cotton blends. They might have a bit of rayon, a bit of spandex in there. And this is how it would look, something similar to this. These are the stretchiest of knits. They are so stretchy. Depending on the type, they might have poor to medium recovery. As you can see, they don't bounce back really nicely. So they are a little bit tricky to work with. You have to worry about stabilizing shoulder seams for sure. If you're making something that has a sleeve, this will want to just stretch out and deform, and you have hanging sleeves and it won't look good. So if you try to not stabilize shoulder seams on knits, I think with this one, it's something that you can't skip. So I have a black one here. It's the same type of fabric. I really love these. They're so comfortable to wear. Maybe it depends on the style of top you're making. You might need to size down, maybe one size, just because of the way that this one stretches. One thing I would say about rib knits is that they are a little tricky to hem nicely. It's hard to get the sewing machine to not create a wavy hem at the bottom. And vertical seams aren't an issue, you know, your side seams, things like that. But when you're hemming, you're sewing across. And sometimes when you're sewing, it wants to stretch out. Your feed dogs will want to stretch the fabric a little, and you end up with a little bit of a wavy hem. So sometimes I've just cut it really, really neatly and I haven't hemmed it, you know, or I've done hand basting and steamed it and just sewed it really, really carefully. But it is a little bit of a stress factor there. So sometimes when you have a top that one of the options there is a hemband, then it's perfect because you can just cut the same fabric and attach your hemband, and you don't have to actually hem it like that, you know. So another way to trick that is to hem it on the serger, doing a lettuce type of hem, which would mean you're stretching it out on purpose, and then you get this like wavy serged edge at the bottom. I've never tried doing that, but I have seen that. Some people do that really successfully, so that could also be an option. I am authorized to give you a sneak peek of the line art of a pattern that is in testing by Love Notions. It's called the Arlington top. You can see it right here. The main feature is the type of neckline. It is designed for cooler weather. So there is a turtleneck that's quite tall. You fold it over once. Or there's a mock one. It's just a smaller one in a single layer. I like that. And then there's a really nice cowl neckline there. And then you have sleeve options. One of the options there is a hemband, and I think that would be really appropriate for something like this if you don't want to get a little bit stressed with the hem of the rib knit, because yeah, it can be a little bit tricky. When you're sewing this, you're not supposed to be pulling your fabric, you're just supposed to let the feed dogs do their thing. But sometimes going across, it's a little bit inevitable for these to stretch out. But it's a really nice fabric, really comfortable to wear, layering piece that you wear under a jacket, really nice for autumn, winter weather. I have 5 types of fabric here, but the one I have the most of are sweater knits, and I just love these. I've recently found some online here in Brazil. It had been hard for me to find in the past, but just let me show you all of them and then I'll talk to you about patterns. They are quite similar between each other. So you'll find some that have a print and then the wrong side of the fabric is like this. It's fairly loosely woven. They do stretch. They have 5% spandex. They are stretchy horizontally quite a bit, and vertically they do have some stretch, but about half. So they're really nice for a fitted top you could wear underneath. I really love this blue and the tones here. The pattern is so pretty. Can't wait to sew that. Then I found this other one. It's the same texture, the same type. Lightweight. This one has a bit of a houndstooth print going on. That's how it looks on the right side, and on the wrong it looks grey. Same type of weave, same stretchy material, very nice and warm. And you know, these are, you can make cardigans with these, but I'm not talking about cardigans. I'm talking about things that are more fitted, that go under jackets and things. So that would be a really nice fabric. This is another one of the same exact type, but it has a different print on it. Beige and navy and green. I love the tones. I'm just sharing these with you because I think they're pretty. So when I see a sweater knit here, I snatch it up immediately because it's hard to find. It's not like I have a ton of options like I find a lot of activewear prints. These are harder to find. So I do treasure them. I'm really stingy with how I use them. Yeah, I really have a good think about what I'm going to sew with them. These two are my favorite. They are the same type. I just got them in different colorways. And look at this. Look, I don't like plaid at all. I don't like that type of print. But I like this one because it is diagonal. So it's not like this, you know? So this is the way that you would cut your pattern pieces, and they would look like you've been cutting your fabric on the bias, but you haven't. It's normal. And it's got purple tones. There's a little bit of lurex in there, metallic thread. I have this green and brown. It's the same. It looks like it's being cut on the bias. I have green linen pants. They don't fit me though, but I could make another pair. Imagine a top with my purple pants out of this one. I can just see it, and all these sweater knits would be perfect for the Arlington top as well. I would always use the mock turtleneck there or the cow neckline. The Terra tunic from Love Notions would also be perfect with any of these sweater knits. I have made one just recently with a very lightweight sweater knit that I cut on the bias because I wanted the stripes diagonal. Turned out really well. There is a pattern I recently found on the Sinclair Patterns website that I haven't made, and I really like the neckline, and it's called Sophia. It's got like a crossover neckline here, like a V and a little square area right there. It is a fitted top for knit fabrics, and I think any of these sweater knits would be perfect for that as a layering piece. Something fitted to go under a jacket for cool weather I think would be perfect, and an alternative to other ones that have a higher neckline. This one is more open. I really like that one. Another fabric I think is great for tops that are fitted, that you could wear under things, is stretch velvet. And you can find different types, they're not all the same. And I don't know online, how would you know how much it stretches? For me, it was a matter of ordering them online and then touching them and knowing that they are all different. So I have this one, it's very nice and it has nice horizontal stretch, but the vertical stretch is absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. On the inside, it's very soft. There's a nap, of course. So you have to be really careful about how to cut your pieces. You can't put pieces upside down to save fabric. You have to make sure you cut them all in the same direction. And this one is also the same type, maybe because I ordered them from the same seller, the same shop. Really nice red one. Really nice and stretchy horizontally, but nothing vertical. Now with stretch velvets like this, you have to really be careful about what type of knit project you sew with them. With there being no vertical ease, it means that you can run into problems with the fit up here on the upper chest, the armhole, and the bust. When you look at pattern details of something that's designed for knit fabrics, you'll usually find that there's 0 or negative V's around this area so that it fits nicely. And you might think, that's fine, my fabric stretches, you know, but it doesn't stretch vertically. And this is where you might have problems in this area with moving your arm, feeling really uncomfortable and pulling and not fitting correctly. So if the pattern instructions say you need fabric that stretches vertically and horizontally, you need to pay attention to that and not use fabrics that only stretch one way. The patterns that will work with these though are the ones that are more loosely fitted, that have positive ease. You will find projects for knits that are more relaxed fit, that do have positive ease at the bust, the waist and the hips. And in that case, your sleeves, everything will be perfect and you'll be able to wear this. One example of those patterns is the Sloan sweater from Love Notions. It's one I've made in the past, and I've used stretch mesh, I've used an embroidered knit, I've used ITY. It's a really versatile pattern, really comfortable. There's no negative ease there, so you can definitely use a fabric that only stretches horizontally there. You might have seen one of my shorts videos that I post sometimes. It's those videos that are less than a minute long, and I posted that a few hours ago because that is the pattern that is a feature Friday today at Love Notions. That means it's only $5. So if you haven't got that one, it's a really nice basic to have. There's lots of details there. You can add these little yokes, elbow patches. One of the options you can choose to hem the Sloan is with a band at the bottom as well, which would be great for a rib knit. Or you can just hem it normal and it's a curved hem. But I really like the sleeve and the shoulder fit, nice and relaxed. And you could definitely use fabrics that stretch just horizontally with the Sloan. If you want to get the Sloan top from Love Notions for only $5 today, my affiliate link is in the description box, along with the videos I have already made about the pattern. If you're a total beginner, I have a full sew along for the Sloan, including the neckband and cuffs. I've done some hacks, really fun hacks with the sleeves. I've done a puff sleeve, I've done a slit on the sleeve. I've had a lot of fun with the pattern, and there are 2 other sweaters that I've made earlier in the year from Itch to Stitch, and with those I also used fabric that just stretched horizontally and none vertically. One of them is the Bainbridge. Now it sort of meets my criteria because it's not an open front, it's just got a half placket here. It's really easy to sew, really comfortable to wear, and I really enjoyed wearing that with just a little cami underneath. It's a really nice project to make for when the weather starts getting cooler. And I actually did make one of those out of stretch velvet that had 0 stretch vertically. So that one would work. Also the Gothenburg top from Itch to Stitch. It doesn't have a separate neckline piece, it's just folded in and it just stands up sort of on its own. Nice and far away from the neck, so it's not constrictive, and it's got a bust that fits really well. And I think a stretch velvet would be perfect for that. Now I have another stretch velvet though, which is different. And I know there's a name to how this looks. Look, here they sell it like, they say it looks wet, and it does. It looks like it's been wet and it's drying, but that's how it looks. And this one is different. Look, this one stretches horizontally and vertically. So it stretches both ways. And with a fabric like this, I would have so much more freedom to make anything really. Any other project that is more tightly fitted to the body, that has no ease, you know, around the bust, would be perfect. Now, one pattern I would love to sew with a stretch velvet like this, and I think would look amazing, is a Nyoka top and dress from Sinclair Patterns. Now, I've made this pattern before at the very end of last year, and when you look at the website at all the tester photos, you will see some versions there made out of stretch velvet like this, and it looks so beautiful. The crossover detail on the front can really be seen when you use a fabric like this, and that would be a dream come true if I could make it, you know, with a stretch velvet like this. But I'm using this one because it also stretches vertically and horizontally. I wouldn't use those other ones to make that top because it is a nicely fitted top or dress. The next fabric I have here, I only have 2 samples here, but I have more colors there in my collection, is baby French terry. Now this is different to other French terries that you might see around. I have a sample here to show you a remnant from another project of what I wouldn't use. Now this is a very heavyweight cotton French terry. This is how it looks on the right side. That's how it looks on the wrong side. You can see the loops there. And this has no stretch at all. There's no spandex in here. It's pretty stiff, pretty structured. It's just not a type of fabric I would use for these types of tops because They're fitted. If you use something like this, you wouldn't be able to get it on, you wouldn't be able to move, it would be very, very uncomfortable. So don't use cotton French terry or any French terry that doesn't have spandex. It's just not going to be comfortable. You might think it's a knit, you know, and you might want to stretch it, and it might stretch a little, but it's only mechanical stretch because you're forcing it to stretch, but it's not because the fabric has stretch properties, doesn't stretch, recover, or anything like that. So I wouldn't use this. I'm just showing it to you. Maybe sometimes it's confusing when you see French terry, you think it's all the same, but it's not. The ones I have here are French terry, but they are actually made out of rayon, 95% rayon, 5% spandex. They are medium weight. Let me show you. This is the right side of the fabric. Look how stretchy it is. It does recover. And then on the wrong side, you can see the loops of the French terry type of weave. Very nice, very soft. I love these. I love these for tops much better than the lightweight rayon spandex. I think those fabrics can be too light and too clingy. These have more body. They have amazing drape. And the sky's the limit with these types of fabrics. I mean, you can make so many things with these. The burgundy color I have. Look at the loop on the other side. I have a red, I have a military green, I have black, I have navy. I have several colors. It's just so hard to get them out and make them. I always prioritize the lovely prints, you know. But this gray one is beautiful. Look, with this one, what wouldn't I make? I would make an Arlington top for sure. Would be a really nice solid garment to pair with my printed skirts or printed pants. That would be really nice. Some patterns I've already made that I think would be amazing would be the Pamela top and dress from 5 out of 4 patterns. I've made that recently. Sweetheart neckline, square neckline. You would be able to do these bands with this fabric. It would be okay. It does stretch and recover. Or the only precaution I would make is I would make the bands a tiny bit shorter, like maybe half an inch shorter. I would make them a teeny bit shorter just because this fabric is so stretchy, you know, compared to other fabrics. So that is the only thing I would be a little bit concerned about. I would make the azalea top from Sinclair Patterns with this fabric as well. Super drapey. Look, this gray one would be great. That detail there on the front I think would look really nice in this. Make a version with long sleeves because so far I've just made sleeveless ones. That is a pattern that could work for any weather, sleeveless or with sleeves depending on the fabric you choose. And this is nice and drapey, and that detail here on the front would look amazing. The Sherry top and dress from 5 out of 4 has a little cute tie detail on the side, would be so nice. I've made one of those in rayon spandex, the very lightweight one, and I think it was just too lightweight for that. It was just very lightweight. It's not a good fabric for it. It was a muslin though. But this one has more body. This one is perfect. It is a fitted top and you can have a long sleeve version there. I've made one without the sleeves because I was in summer, but it is also a pattern that could work for cooler weather with a lovely fabric like this. So that would be good. And if you like raglan sleeves, there is a pattern from Sinclair that I haven't made yet, which has raglan sleeves and a fitted silhouette called Demi Raglan. I would like to make that one as a basic. I like raglan sleeves. I think they're so easy to sew and easy to fit. Gives you a different look, and this baby French terry would also be perfect for it. The last type of fabric I have here is maybe one you haven't considered, or maybe you have some, and it's stretch suede. It is a neat fabric, and look, I just have navy to show you. I bought the navy just to see how I liked it. Now that I've seen it and liked it, I've ordered some more in military green and a wine type color solids, and I'll just wait for that to arrive. But this is how it looks on the right side. It looks like suede. It is stretch suede. It's not real suede, but it stretches. It's got a very nice amount of stretch and recovery, and it also has some vertical stretch, less though than the horizontal, but enough to make wearing a garment nice and comfortable, the armhole and all those sections. So very pretty. It has a nap. You also need to be careful with these about cutting the sleeves and the pieces of your top in the same direction. Otherwise, when the light hits this, it might look really different. So you can't be saving fabric on this type of fabric. I have another example here of a garment you'll see soon. I've already made a garment and I have just a little scrap to show you. Same type of stretch suede. It's black, but it's got these little cutouts. So pretty, also very stretchy, both ways, very nice. So I have already made a garment out of this and it's amazing. Any fitted top that you want to wear underneath something is just going to look a little bit more fancy in a fabric like this. And details that you might have, like the Nyoka top, would look amazing. The crossover in a stretch suede like this would look really good. The Arlington top as well would look amazing. I hope this one was helpful for you to go and look at your stash, see what you have, and see what gorgeous tops you can plan to make for the cooler weather. They don't have to be so basic. You see that some of the patterns I mentioned here have details on the neckline, on the front, on the sleeves. You know, you can wear something really nice underneath your jacket. Then when you get hot, you take it out and you don't just have something too basic, you know. I think these fabrics are lovely. It's what I would use. I haven't mentioned here cotton spandex because I don't have any of that. I just can't get my hands on that. But sometimes there are nice ones around. I just can't get my hands on them. I've also not mentioned Ponte Roma because it's a fabric that doesn't have that much stretch. It's really stiff. I have tried to sew basic tops in the past with that and I just get a really awful drape, and I'd rather leave that for skirts, pants and blazers and dresses, but not for nice tops like this. So that's why that is not included either. Same as rayon spandex. I just think it's too light, too clingy. These are the ones I like and the ones I wanted to share with you. Go have a look at your stash, have some fun going in there. I know I always love going in there and seeing everything that I have. I hope you have a great weekend.